Hello everyone, my name is Mehmet Yilmaz and today I'm going to show my project CH or CHA. So about in early January 2024, I wanted to make a CLI tool for the terminal that easily integrated AI models inside of the terminal as a CLI tool. At the time, there wasn't really any great solutions, like Claude Code didn't come out, there wasn't really that many. So during that time period, I created CHA. And CHA fundamentally achieved this. And there's a lot of demo videos I did and blog posts about it I did. And I actually gained some traction with 63 stars and a couple of forks. But CHA had some problems. It was slower than it had to be, especially on boot up time, mainly because it was written entirely in Python. And it had a lot of bloated features I didn't think was really necessary for what this tool did. And after powerful tools like Claude Code CLI, Gemini CLI, and even Amazon Q CLI came out, it became redundant to have these more advanced features. So I decided to grab CHA's essential features and boil it down to a more simplified, lightweight version that was faster and better, but only diving into the essentials. And, this is the vision statement of CHA, and it still applies to this project. CHA is a powerful, feature-rich CLI tool that provides direct terminal access to advanced AI capabilities while maintaining core principles of user control and transparency. CHA offers comprehensive functionality for professional workflows, including voice processing, and etc. That core message at the start still applies to this day with CH, or the new CHA. And the argument I get as to why should I use CHA instead of Claude Code CLI and Gemini CLI and all these more powerful, better tools. And for me, in this section I wrote up in the old CHA GitHub repo, the main difference between the two is this. With CHA, you get more control. You are the orchestrator. You know what's happening and you have way more control. There's no background workers really. So because of that, you have more control. You tell it exactly what you need it to do, just like how you would do with traditional Unix-based commands. And on top of that, it's magnitudes cheaper. You're not going to spend a lot of money. With Claude Code CLI and Gemini CLI, you will burn through a lot of money. And you can do a lot of useful stuff where you don't need Claude Code CLI to and burn all that money, as well as all that time it would take to wait for the thing to finish. Even CHA is way faster in that regard. But yeah, so CHA was originally this project. It was something I was proud of and I used every day. But as I said, it got really bloated over time and really slow. So this led me to create CHA CH. And this version of CHA is entirely written in Golang, which is much faster. It has removed all of the bloat and only keeps the key features that made CHA great. It's simple. It supports multiple platforms like OpenAI, Amazon, BlackRock, Olama, Grok with a Q, XAI, Together AI, Gemini, Mistral, etc. All of that. It can load quite a bit of file types like PDF and Word documents as context as need be. It can export stuff great. In the terminal, you can do a text editor mode where you can put in your prompt as a text editor in your desired text editor like Vim, so you can put in big complex prompts without the CLI being all annoyed about it. It supports web scraping. It supports web browsing, etc. And yeah, now I'm gonna demo it, but shameless plug here, but here's my blog about why CHA migrated from Python to Golang. But enough of me talking. Let me show you the new CHA CH in action. So when using it, you can just pull up your terminal as need be. To install CHA, it's very simple. It's in the README. You can do it through a curl command or just git clone and install with Go. But after it's installed, you get this CH. And these are all of the features that CHA supports. To show you it in action, there's interactive mode and non-interactive mode. In interactive mode, you just do CH and boom, it's a chat user interface. You can say hi, talk with the model, what is your name, etc. And you know, it does its thing. But let's say if you want to change the model you're using, so in this case I'm using Anthropic's models, you can just add this shortcut here, and now I can switch to a different model. So in this case, let's do Claude Sonic 3.5. Hi, what model are you? I'm not sure if we'll know, but yeah, but it can do that. But another key feature is platforms. So if you do this, you can actually pick different providers. Now you have to grab the API keys for these, but after you get it, you can pick your desired provider. So actually, sorry, let me fix this. This version does not contain the new Amazon Bedrock platform. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is how you'd, one easy way to install this is you literally just clone the GitHub repo, do a bash install, just run that script, and boom, it'll do it. But we actually also support a simple curl command inspired by how Homebrew does it, where you just run this thing and it will install everything as needed. Cool. So since we are out of that, now let me show you Tron action. So, features still apply, but if you do !P, you can pick different platforms like Amazon Bedrock. And with Amazon Bedrock, you can pick different regions. In this case, I'll pick West 2. And then it can grab all the models supported by Amazon Bedrock here. So in this case, to figure out which model I want to use, let's use QN3 coder. So, hi. What is your name? Cool. So now we are using Amazon AWS Bedrock Queues, Bedrock API for our needs. So yeah, you're able to easily switch between platforms and models, and that's great. But there's also more features here as well. So going back to the actual char GitHub repo here, let me go on here. I can do something as simple as, actually wait, before I go into those features, let me also show another platform it supports, and that's Ollama. Ollama allows you to host open source models locally on your system. It's actually running right here. And I already have these models downloaded here. And we can actually use these models with char. So this is awesome because now you don't even need an API key or internet to use a lot of features of char. You could just have the model locally and do all that stuff locally. So in this case, I picked, Qwen 3 0.6. So hi, just to show you that action. It's a bit slower because I'm on an Intel Mac, but yeah, here it is. Cool. But yeah, knowing that, to show you a feature here, right now I have it defaulted to Anthropic as the platform, and I believe their newest model, this one, as the default model. But that can easily be changed by simply going in, creating this repo, which it does automatically, this directory, which is just located in your home directory, and modifying this config variable. It's all in the README. But yeah, you can set the default model you want, the default platform you want, and some other stuff. In this case, my preferred text editor is Helix. Cool. So yeah, that set up, let me show you everything else in action. And, let me show you the other stuff you can do. So if you do !H, that takes you to the help page. The help page allows you to see all the features that are supported in the interactive mode. And the beauty about this is you can actually pick one of these. It's just using FZF for all these selection stuff. And I'll actually execute it. So in this case, it executed the model selection feature. Okay. But it also does some other stuff. If you select this all option, it just prints all of it. And if you select the state option, it just prints out the current state of the conversation you're in that interactive mode. So you know the current time, the platform you're using, the model you're using, how many total chats you have, as well as how many tokens you burned through already. Just to show you this in action, if I do hi, and then boom, one chat. And the beauty about, Go, that Python really sucked at, is you can actually hit the up arrow and go back to your previous messages. Cool. So with that in mind, if I go here, select the all feature, you have a couple options. If you do Q, this option will just exit the interface, but it can also exit if you do Control C or Control, sorry, it will also exit if you do Control D. Okay? If you do Control C, all it does is it just exits that input. So in case you wrote up something big and you don't want to use it, you can just do Control C and it'll just exit it. Think of it like clearing your input field. Okay? If you do Control D, it'll just exit as is, and if you do exclamation mark Q, it'll do the same thing. Awesome. So another thing that this does is there's the clear history feature. So if you do hi, my name is Jeff, what is my name? Then we clear it. What is my name? Doesn't know because we cleared it. Okay. Then there's backtracking. So if I say my name is Jeff, actually it's Bob. What is my name? It says Bob. But if we do the backtracking, it lists all of the histories we have, and I can backtrack to a specific one. So in this case, we have jumped back to when I just inputted my name is Jeff. So now if I do what is my name, your name is Jeff, not Bob, because we backtracked. Cool. And after that, we also have T. So what T does is it allows us to input our prompt in our desired text editor, terminal text editor. So in this case, I can say, hi, my name is Jeff, hi, etc. And you can just put it in like you would in a normal terminal text editor. With Claude Code, you have to do the backslash stuff and a lot of stuff like Olama CLI. It doesn't even work if you just paste it in with new lines. It just, for each new line, it runs it as a different prompt. This one allows you to bypass this. So after we're done and we save it, it puts this in to the model. So everything we put into the text editor here. Cool. And another way of inputting is actually the slash. Just like with Claude Code, you could just do this and say, hi, my name is Jeff or whatever. And then, to exit this multi-line input method here, you could just, do a backslash again and exit. And, because I like Claude Code a lot, you could also just do this and it does the same thing, but enters immediately, similar to exactly how Claude Code would do. Cool. And, you have switching between models, switching between platforms, which I showed earlier. You also have this, which is load. Now, what this does is it goes to your current directory, and it actually finds every file there, and you can provide these as context for the model. So in this case, if I select, it's using FZF, you can use tab to select multiple options. I can select the license, let's say the README, and you can even select an entire directory and all of its content. So in this case, this, I can also, filter it like this by, typing something in, let's say this one as well, and then enter to exit. Boom. This is now context for char. So now I can type something like, what is this project about? Yep, char is a lightweight Go. Yep, and everything about Go. And let's say this, can you go more into detail? So if I do this, I can actually cancel response mid-response by doing Control C. That will just stop it right there, which is useful. Sometimes you don't want to have it continue talking. Now there's exclamation mark X, which allows you to record the shell session. We'll come back to that one. But another feature it has is exclamation mark W. So this allows you to actually have it browse the web. So I can do something like this, which just gives you possible suggestions if you don't know what to search for. But if I do exclamation mark W and put something in like what is the goal of life, it'll actually run this query to the Brave Search API, grab the context, grab the results, and add it as context to the conversation. So I can say, list out all of the URLs you got, just those, keep it simple. Okay, and boom, these are all the URLs it got. And now I can show you the other feature, exclamation mark S. This allows you to actually scrape content. So I can paste in a URL here, it scrapes it, and I can say, what is this about? Yep, and it scraped it right here. Now, on top of this, this also actually supports YouTube videos as well. So I can do something like YC talks or something. I don't know. Something like this. And then I can pick, let's say I grab this URL. Cool. I can do this, provide this URL, and it actually uses YT-DLP to scrape the transcript from that YouTube URL and provide it as context for the model. So it doesn't just do basic web page scraping, but it does YouTube scraping as well with the power of YT-DLP. Now, the only real dependencies you need for this tool to work is Golang and FZF. That's it. But if you want these other features like web browsing and web scraping and stuff, yes, you will have to download some other stuff, but those things are relatively light and easy to download. But for the core essential features, you just need Golang and FZF. And if you don't want to get an API key, Olama. Okay, cool. So now I can say, what is this video about? Yep, just like I said. When was it made and who made it or something. Yep, YC, etc. It's clear the context here. So cool. With that, there's also this feature called code dump, !D. So what this does is it goes to your current directory and does a code dump, which means it respects your .git ignore file if it's there, and it grabs every single file there and provides it as one text file, basically, as context for the model. Now, when you do this, you can either select none, meaning we ignore no directories, no files, or we can, using this FZF menu, select which files we want to ignore. So I could say something like readme. Maybe not that one, but like .git ignore. Actually, sorry, it ignores that by default. License. Just don't include license in the code dump. Then I can say, what is this code written in? Yeah, in Golang. Cool. So code dump allows you to dump your entire code base into it, and while respecting the .git ignore file, so you can provide as context for the model as need be. And you can filter out certain directories and files to ignore in case they're too big or you just don't want to include it in there. The exclamation mark Y just basically allows you to pick which response or responses from the model you want to add to your clipboard. If you do auto, what it does is it looks for any these type of brackets, code brackets, text brackets like you would see in Markdown, and tries to grab those for you to pick from. Or manual is you basically go into the text editor and pick it yourself. So in this case, I said manual, grab this response, and you can actually modify this. And then after you do that, boom, it's added to my clipboard. So I can do something like this. Yeah, just like I said, it's in my clipboard. Now that auto feature is great if I want to use something like this. Write me Python code that does something, I don't know, something random. So let it cook something. Yeah, this is too long. Write me Python code that finds the area of a circle. Awesome. Okay. So I can do this with exclamation mark. I can do auto, and now it's grabbing it by the code brackets, okay? And if you actually look here, it grabbed, in this case, probably the third one here seems pretty good. Yeah, it basically just, let me just do this. Yep, it grabbed this part right here, as we can see. This is just like a smart and easy way to grab it without always needing to manually change it. Cool. So in this case, yeah, and then there's the export feature, E. So what this does is I can do hi or something, cool. Then I can do exclamation mark E. This allows me, this is exactly like what the clipboard feature does, but instead of adding it to your clipboard, it adds it as it allows you to save it as a file in your current directory. So in this case, auto and manual, same logic. Let's just do auto. Let me pick that. And it gives you an option of possible file names you can pick. In this case, since I picked a Python one, I picked .py here. Boom. And it saves it to my current directory, as seen here. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, that's all set up. And let me actually back this up here because I'm about to do some stuff. Okay, cool. So yeah, those are a lot of the core features of Char. And there's some very impressive stuff you can do here. But one of the most impressive features of Char is exclamation mark X. So when you do this, it does a couple things. So when you do exclamation mark X and you provide a command, it just runs it and saves the output, the std output, as context for the model. But if you do this, exclamation X with nothing in it, it just takes you into a subshell based on your default configuration, your default shell, which it grabs through the $ all caps shell environment variable. And now you're in your shell, basically, just a subshell. And what it does is that it actually watches and sees what you typed in. And with this, any output you get, it adds it as context for the model. So in this case, I did all that. I exited using Control D like you would with a terminal. You can even just do exit. And then I can ask something like, what is this? Yep. Transcript. Cool. What is the license about? Yep, MIT license. It's adding it as context for the model. Cool. Now the main power with this is if I do exclamation mark X, I can use other CLI tools for my needs, such as Q. That's weird. Amazon Q is not working, but if I do Claude, I can type something in like, write me a Python script that finds the area of a circle using input, keep it simple, something like that. Yes. Awesome. And I believe it saved it here. Yeah, but cool. I can exit it and yeah, generated this. Cool. So I just use Claude Code. And now I exited that shell, that subshell I was in. And now I can say, what did I do in this session? Yep. Yep. And it has now the full context of this. So why is this great? This allows me to use Char, which is lightweight and great, but it allows me to do stuff in my shell, have it record what I'm doing, and give it context to the model as to what I am doing, okay? This allows me to have this lightweight solution that is great for a lot of cases, in most cases, but in cases where I really need something really powerful, like Amazon Q CLI, or like, what was the other one? Amazon Q CLI, Claude Code, Gemini CLI, OpenAI's Codex CLI, etc. I can still use those as need be. Have those companies and organizations manage the bloat, right? And still use them and provide them as context for Char to utilize, okay? And this is great because it allows me to keep this tool light while also still allowing it to be powerful by having this subshell feature behind it. So this is one of the core features of Char that makes it really powerful. This is the core features of, CH, the Golang version of the original Char, that makes it much more powerful while being much more lightweight and faster compared to the original Char was. So this is a core feature I do want to show here. And we can actually, let's do that. Cool. So with that done, I believe, yeah, we're still in the session here. So cool. With that done, now I believe I covered all of the core features of Char here. Awesome. Now there's some other hidden stuff, but like these are the main core features. But Char is not just an interactive tool. You can also run this thing just through as a CLI argument without needing to go into interactive mode. So for example, I can do something like ch, what is the goal of life? Keep it short. Boom. We just queried the model here. Awesome. I can also do something like, going back to the help page, all the stuff I featured before. I can, scrape content. So in this case, let me see if I can grab something I've done before. Like this. Yeah, sorry, it's using YouTube, so it might take a bit. But yeah, cool. It did the scraping stuff. I can also do stuff like, I can literally pick the model here and then give it a prompt. Sorry, in this case, it doesn't really support it. So let me do something like GPT-4. Actually, sorry, because we switched the platform, you can do something like this. OpenAI, what is the goal of life? So in this case, I said use platform OpenAI with model GPT-4.1, and that's what answered my question there. I can also do something like even web search, goal of life. Boom, did the web search, title, URL, and description. What else can we do? The loading feature stuff. Like I can do this. And, it loads the context and prints it out, which is great. What else could I do? Yeah, we can even do this, the code dump. We can just use code dump as is, and it actually creates it as a file, code dump, code underscore dump underscore some uid.txt, which is great if you want the code dump feature for something else, but you don't want to just have Char know about it. Okay, and yeah, so you can still use this thing as a CLI tool. I can even do something like this. Char, what is this? Keep your answer short. And boom, it does its thing. So yeah, this is Char. The new and improved version. And if you made it this far, I'm honored you watched it all the way through. Thank you for watching. I hope Char is a useful tool for you as it is for me. I love working on this project, and I do use this every day. It's an essential tool for me. And I try to use it more than these existing tools because I have control. I orchestrate what happens where there's still some automation. I can still integrate modern features like modern tools like Claude Code and Gemini CLI and Amazon Q CLI and all that. I can still integrate those, but without while still having the core features I need in my terminal. It's like having a chatbot in my terminal in a light and convenient way as a Unix command rather than a bloated thing that is very difficult to maintain and constantly changing, right? It's like a rat's race out there in terms of making developer like really powerful AI CLI tools. It's a rat race. There's no end to it. It constantly changes. I've done projects like that. It just never ends. But Char always stays the same and adapts. It's a universal tool and it's light and powerful. I want it to be the Vim, the VI of AI CLI tools, and I think it's there. And I'm honored that I got to show it to you all. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.